Yes, Sierra. What's going on? What you doing in the vlog? What you doing in the vlog? What? You wanna come up? Come on. There you go. Hey viewers, my name's Cara and today's the 19th day of Vlog Every Day in April. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday, so for today's vlog I want to talk about why I am not offended by Easter. And this topic comes up because where I work, my employers are of different religious beliefs than I am, and being a public business, we like to decorate for the different holidays that come up. I don't remember if I had ever mentioned on this channel that there was a bit of a back and forth about whether we were going to be able to decorate for Halloween or not, because one of my bosses does not believe in Halloween, does not celebrate Halloween. When we were getting ready to decorate for Easter, she said, oh, I'm going to bring in my rabbits and my eggs and things like that, because my other boss had already brought in a few rabbits and put them around, and things with rabbits on them, like little vintage things that fit the theme of the Victorian tea parlor. But so my one boss said, oh, I'm going to bring in my other eggs and my rabbits and my other decorations. And she said, that won't offend you, will it? I said, why would it offend me? And she said, oh, and basically that she just wasn't sure how I felt about it not being a pagan holiday, but decorating for it and having those decorations around, and would that be offensive to me? And I just said, no, I do not find it offensive. I chose not to go into the reasons why I don't find it offensive because I thought that my reasons may be offensive to her. Because my reasons include things such as the fact that Easter came out of an originally pagan celebration, and the fact that the common symbols of Easter, the rabbit and the eggs, are also originally pagan symbols and represent various things within different branches of paganism as well as in my path. So to me, those symbols represent a lot more than Easter, and really only tangentially represent Easter in my mind. I think I've talked about this in past years, probably in last year's vlogs, I don't remember really, about how the symbols that say more Easter, specifically the Christian celebration, to me would be the lamb and the cross, and flowers to an extent. Flowers, of course, are kind of universal, but that the rabbit and the eggs are really more pagan symbols to me because the stories behind them are pagan, and there are more stories within the Christian version of the Easter story that have to do with the lamb, such as Jesus Christ being referred to as a lamb, the Lamb of God, things like that. Whereas growing up, there was never any biblical reference story explained to me why rabbits and eggs had anything to do with Christ being reborn. So that's just how I associate them in my mind. I think the last time I brought that up, someone also told me a story of why lambs are symbolic of Ostara and the equinox and the pagan celebrations of spring too, besides the fact that obviously it is a baby animal and this is the time when animals are being born and things like that. Other than that, I can't remember. I thought someone had told me specifically why lambs were symbols of Ostara as well. But, oh, actually I forgot to prepare this. I'll be right back. I have to go get a thing. Sierra, if you do anything strange in front of the camera, I will see it. Nope, you're gonna get down. Okay. Okay, so I've probably shown this to you guys before. This is a little booklet that I made when I was a senior in undergrad, when I was taking my stereotyping and prejudice course that I talk about all the time. Because I was doing it on paganism and everyone knew from day one in that class that I was pagan, we happened to have class on the equinox, so I made this little thing. It's the 20th of March 2012, and I drew little symbols with day and night and rabbits and flowers and eggs, and I wrote day and night of equal length. And then in this little booklet it has some basic information about Ostara, and I handed this out to my classmates because I said, if you guys are curious learning about it, I'll just give you this to read instead of like taking up your time and making it like I'm preaching to you or something. But most of them actually said, oh, well, since we're standing around here having punch and cookies and whatnot, because I also baked crescent moon cookies for the occasion, and I made some kind of punch, I don't remember now. They decided to just have me tell it to them in my own words, but then they took these as well, and then the rest of them I taped around campus. So inside here it says Ostara, pronounced Ostara, /Ostra/ Easter/Easter. And then in bullet points it says Ostara is just one of several names/spellings for the celebrations of the vernal spring equinox. This is a time of rebirth, new growth, fertility, and prosperity. The Ostara is the first full moon after the vernal equinox, but we use the name for the equinox festival now. The name comes from Ostra, the Saxon lunar goddess of fertility, whose two sacred symbols are the egg and the rabbit. That's one of many symbolism that you'll find online. At the time, that's the basic one I found, but since then, I think I've heard some other associations to other deities as well, such as Ishtar. And the last bullet point on that page is Easter, another descendant of the name Ostra, is celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox. So even the celebration of Easter, the date on which Easter is celebrated, is determined in relation to the equinox and the full moon. Easter always happens on a Sunday. It's not a specific date. It's not an anniversary of something that happened. It's a Sunday after the full moon that follows the spring equinox. On the next page, I have some symbols of the vernal equinox bullet points: rabbits, eggs, flowers and seeds, leafy greens and dairy foods. In the other corner over here, it says, "What's with the eggs?" The tradition of decorating eggs began in the Middle East. Many cultures throughout history painted eggs and ate them or gave them as gifts of this fertile, prosperous season. Again, that's just like the most basic explanation I could find. Different sources go into more details. And then at the bottom of that page I wrote, Wheel of the Year. For those who follow the Wheel of the Year, the life cycle of the god and goddess, Ostara is the time when the god is a growing young boy and the goddess is a maiden. Animals mate and flowers grow. The world is full of promise. And then on the back it says ways that you can celebrate this holiday, or maybe ways that you already do. Plant seeds outside or in a flower pot, or just buy some flowers to decorate. Decorate eggs and give them to your friends. Take a walk outside and observe the new growth of plants and animals in your area. At the bottom it just says resources include Wicca.com's Ostara page, About.com's pagan/Wiccan pages on Ostara, Whichway.net, and the Everything Paganism book. And it says this kind of very basic information is easy to find online, just try a search. So I gave these to people on Ostara, so that kind of sums up why Easter doesn't offend me, and decorating for Easter definitely doesn't offend me, because to me they're symbols of actually what I'm celebrating. They're symbols of the equinox, they're symbols of spring, and it's all symbolism of this new growth time of the year. Now, as for a vlog actually about my day, I went to work today, I just came home, I am now doing this video, and then after this I'm probably going to head over to Grandma's house after I edit a couple videos and whatnot, get some work done. I'm probably going to go to Grandma's house to help her decorate the lamb cake that I baked yesterday if it's not already decorated. Pack up some more of my things that are still at Grandma's house so I can bring them here because there's just still a lot. And then tomorrow, of course, is Easter Sunday, so I will be at church singing with the choir, and it's going to be a multi-generational service. So the kids are going to be participating, and there will most likely be an Easter egg hunt afterwards. And then to Grandma's house for dinner, or lunch, or dinner. I don't really remember. So that about covers today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.